Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of D.E.I. Deathwatch, where we chronicle the downfall and the doubling down of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm your host, Scribelight. It is Monday. Melodious Monday. Hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Yes, we return once again to the wonderful world of D.E.I., the ups, the downs, the sideways, and otherwise. And who's joining me on this beautiful Monday afternoon? Holy cow, so many people here. Alexander, good afternoon. Senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Every day is a yay with Colleen Bernier. Angela Arriaga, hello. Mr. Yes, hello. Who else is here? Morgan King, hello. I missed it somewhere, or we got scrolled up somewhere, but Keeverdam is here, and thank you, Keeverdam. As always, guys, at the top of the chat box, there are the links to the GoFundMes and fundraisers for our friends Twisted Skipster and Angela Arriaga herself. Please take a look at those when you have the opportunity. If you can donate, please do so and help them out. Twisted Skipster is trying to put together a wrestling club for his daughter and her classmates, and Angela Arriaga is trying to set up her own home business and needs a little help in that regard. So if you can donate, please do so. But even if you can't, if you can share those out on social media, that would be appreciated. So thank you ahead of time for that. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the links. Who else is here? Scrolling. Shady Grin, good afternoon. I was about to say good evening. So used to saying good evening. Gentee Maxey from the Great White North. Good afternoon. Mike Savage, Blarg. Walter Tomaszewski. Good afternoon. Tell me how much I owe to... I think this is a story about something else I don't know. Something's happening in Walter Tomaszewski's world. So, hello, Walter. Who else is here? Anybody else? Boy, a lot of conversations going on here. Adam Nixon, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Somnamnul Nation, hello. Miranda Stone is here. Hey, guys, I don't know if you know about Miranda Stone. But if you don't know about Miranda Stone, let me tell you. Jill Powers, the River Daughters here. Good afternoon, Scribelight, and all of you auspicious scribblers, wrenches, and chat. Well, good afternoon to you too, Jill Powers. Unfair Ophelia, hello. Robert Pincus, good afternoon. Anybody else? Scrolling. I think that's everybody. If I missed something or missed someone, I mean, you might be a thing as well. I don't know. Maybe you're related to the Addams family or something. But if you're lurking, if you're in the future, good afternoon. Keeverdam, thank you so much for the very studious, very respectful Dogcat Fox. Oh! Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow.
No, there's a ranting monkey Dogcat Fox, a very terse Dogcat Fox. And Mr. Yes says, R.I.P. Jonathan Joss, the voice of John Redcorn. Yes, one of the cast members of King of the Hill has just passed away. That show has experienced several losses of their stars relatively recently. The voice of Dale Gribble, of course, the voice of Luann originally. Boy, oh boy. And that sequel series is just about to come out. Sabian187, good afternoon. All right, guys, we have a lot of stories to get into, so let's start off with a sort of follow-up from last time's episode. Because last time, if you'll recall, we looked at a story about Ohio State University and their medical school rolling back or getting rid of their DEI programs, or at least mostly on the surface, if they weren't just moving people around and changing titles. Well, there's been some backlash at Ohio State. Ohio State's DEI decision jeopardizes patients, contaminates next generation. Ooh. Let's find out what this is about. Shame on Ohio State College of Medicine. The Ohio State University College of Medicine's dropping diversity, equity, and inclusion instruction is nothing short of dereliction of duty. All of society depends upon the college's preparing professionals capable of improving medical treatment for all people. And as we know, DEI makes sure that white people can't be the only ones to benefit from medicine, guys. DEI is a watchdog, as we all know, as it has been said. Also, Ames S is here. WWE versus DEI. I'm a big WWE fan. Well, tell you what, I'll do that story next, just for you, Ames. I found that today, and I was like, what's this? After graduating from Rush Medical School, is that where they teach you how to play, rock from the 70s? Last spring and completing a year of residency in pediatrics at the University of Chicago this year. Boy, you're all over the place. My granddaughter discussed what she had learned about medical treatment for poor people. Well, what you do is you euthanize them. That's what we're told, right? Like, what? Why is there? What's the difference between medical treatment for a poor person versus a rich person? What they can afford. That's about it. And that's not me celebrating that in our country or in any particular health system. But, when it comes down to brass tacks, there's no physical difference between a poor person and a rich person when treating them. They're all human beings. But let's see what they have to say. I was quite pleased that she was prepared uncommonly well about the poor levels of treatment for poor people. She was prepared uncommonly well? You mean informed, maybe? My English major is kicking in. Anyway, the exceptionally high rates of mortality among African American mothers and infants, about unexamined biases influencing doctors and nurses treating minority populations, and about how those biases affect what is seen and heard in conversations between patients and medical professionals in America. She had learned from DEI programs. She had been indoctrinated by DEI programs. How true is the information that was relayed to her through those DEI programs? Or were those DEI programs influenced by ideology? Were they influenced by a disparity equals inequity mindset? I think maybe so. But apparently you don't. Anyway, as one who prepared educators to recognize those same shortcomings even before DEI programs existed, you are already inherently biased. Oh, wait, we can't talk about your bias. It's everybody else's bias. Okay, I know how important those programs are for preparing all professionals who should be serving the historically neglected populations in our society. Well, how about they just serve everybody? And not play favorites or assume hardship because someone falls within a racial demographic. Okay, the only negative feature of DEI programs is that they are necessary for teaching attitudes and knowledge that should already be deeply embedded in preparation programs. That sounds like, and this isn't necessarily bad advice when you go to a job interview. They ask you like, oh, what's one thing that people would say is a negative quality you possess? Well, sometimes I ask too many questions. I want to get everything right, so I might ask more than one person for their perspective on something. It can kind of annoy some people that I want to get it right. The only negative feature of these DEI programs is that they are necessary. They should be everywhere. Right. Unfortunately, special programs are necessary because almost all Americans in professional schools are unprepared and unable to teach or learn information essential for fully educating professionals to do their jobs where they are most needed. Really? Okay. Tell me how. So far, your granddaughter has regurgitated a whole bunch of ideologically driven talking points where disparity equals inequity. How does that make her a better doctor? If she has to triage a situation, is she going to give preference to someone on the basis of their skin color because she assumes them to be a victim in general, first and foremost, versus someone else? I don't know. I haven't heard yet. OSU officials in the College of Education used to assure me by declaring, quote, "We won't send a prejudiced student into the inner city," unquote. Okay, my reply always was, quote, "No, you will send them to suburbs where they will contaminate the next generation of professional leaders who never examine their own biases as they reduce professional services for all Americans," unquote. Yes, because as we know, everyone, there are no biases in the inner city. I guess. The College of Medicine should be ashamed for willingly abandoning its DEI programs and professors. DEI professors? Uh-oh. The guardrails are being dismantled. Oh, wait, that was all from one person, I guess. William Wason, Ohio State University Professor Emeritus, Plain City. Are these all like different quotes? I guess these are different letters from different people. Maybe I misunderstood. Okay, well, that's letter number 1. Letter number 2. The guardrails are being dismantled. As a senior in college, okay, I've lived through many political crises in America. Oh, wait, or maybe as a senior citizen. Is that it? Maybe that's it. The country that I love, but I've never seen an attack on our democracy and truth and freedom here and abroad like this. Really? Like, not even World War II? Okay. Once there was bipartisan opposition to lawlessness. Really? If you say so. Today, the guardrails are being dismantled before our eyes, and we must sound the alarm. It's time to speak out with our friends, family, neighbors, on social media, and by contacting our elected leaders. The freedom that every generation before us has suffered... Wait a second. The freedom that every generation before us has suffered... I think that was supposed to be has. Let's try that again. And again, this is a misspelling on either the writer's part, maybe the Columbus Dispatch reproduced it as written. Let's try that again. The freedom that every generation before us has suffered, fought, and died to expand and defend, is too precious to be sacrificed in silence. You know, that entire statement effectively being taken out of context, in general sentiment, I could agree with. I don't know what that has to do with DEI, but apparently so. And I'm being phone called right now. Hold on. You know, when you tell people you're going to be streaming. I'm streaming. If I'm streaming, don't call. Or check first. I don't know. Anyway, so there's Ohio State's update. Yeah, people are ticked off. Ohio State has abandoned DEI, everyone. Oh, no! And because his granddaughter could, regurgitate stuff that she'd been told, which is obviously fact. Therefore, shame on you, OSU, I suppose. Let's see. Zero the Hero 909. Are we mad that DEI is dying? Yes. Apparently so. But there are people out there who are more mad that it's dying, and for interesting reasons. But we'll get to those momentarily. First, on behalf of Ames, we're going to move on to the wonderful world of WWE. Oh my gosh. Popular WWE star reacts to being called a DEI hire. Oh my gosh. I have the knowledge I have about the WWE stopped sometime around like 1984. I watched a little bit with some friends several years ago, back when what's his name? I don't even remember these characters' names anymore. The Yes guy. What was it? Jeremy? Was it like Jeremy Bryan or something, or Brian something or other? Yeah, that guy, he was popular for about a minute. And the tag team guys who were like the Louisiana Voodoo guys, the Bray brothers or whatever. I don't know. Now I'm thinking like old Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, Mouth of the South. That era. That's the era that I grew up with on the cartoons and stuff and the old WWF. I don't know this modern stuff, but I'll take the experts here, their word for it. A popular WWE star was recently labeled a DEI hire by fans. She has responded to this claim. Oh boy. Piper Niven has been part of the WWE roster for some time now. How much time is some time? However, she has gained quite a bit of traction after she began teaming up with Chelsea Green. All right. Together, they form quite the pair. Given the WWE's penchant for putting very attractive women in the ring, I can imagine they make quite a pair of pairs. Her role as a member of the Secret The Secret Hervis. Oh, that's great. That's great. The secret Hervis has also been very entertaining. Nevertheless, one fan... Oh, come on, guys. One fan believes the company had an alternative reason for hiring her. Okay. Piper Niven has previously revealed that she is bisexual. I mean, you know, depending on what kind of move she's making on other lady wrestlers, that could be interesting. As a result, she sent a message wishing fans for pride. Wishing fans for pride? Okay. One fan claimed that WWE hired her for DEI reasons. Niven replied to the fan that the company hired her because she is a, quote, workhorse that knocks every opportunity, unquote. Yeah, if you've ever watched those behind-the-scenes things for WWE stuff, you know, the storylines might be pre-scripted. The outcomes... oftentimes, if not always, are known ahead of time. But the actual work that goes into doing that stuff, that ain't no joke. So you have to be doing some crazy stuff to get up in the ranks there. So, but let's see what the one fan said. Check out the tweet. Check out her tweet below. What was the accusation? Just was she was a DEI hire? Okay, and she said her answer to the accusation that she was a DEI hire is, quote, originally, probably. Then it turned out I'm a wee workhorse that knocks every opportunity I get out of the park, so I get to stay for another week. Okay, fair enough to me. Piper Niven sent a concerning message after her match on WWE SmackDown. Okay, Chelsea Green has been feuding with Zelina Vega for the past few weeks. I'll assume that's important, in an attempt to regain the Women's United States Championship. However, the feud hasn't gone well for Green. On the May episode 9 of SmackDown, Zelina Vega and Alexa Bliss competed against Green and Piper Niven. The baby faces emerged victorious in the match. Following the match, Piper Niven took to social media to address their loss, asking fans to respect the Green regime's wishes during this difficult time. Please respect our wishes during this difficult time, Niven tweeted. It will be interesting to see if Chelsea Green will finally be able to get the better of Zelina Vega and regain the Women's United States Championship in the future. I guess it will be interesting. Okay, so one guy said she was a DEI hire because of her reported sexuality. And she's like, maybe, but I also work for a living. The end. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, I don't know that you could have a DEI hire in the WWE, because ultimately either you can do the physical part and maintain the acting part as well to maintain a character or gain an audience either as a heel or otherwise, or you can't. If you can't keep up the workload, you're drummed out eventually. You're written out of the script. So at least she's a little bit, I guess, honest about it. Like, originally, maybe she was because she was bisexual, but also she actually does the work. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think you can fake it very long. I could be mistaken. I'm sure the aficionados out there of the WWE probably have some other opinions. But Kirsten Scholl, good afternoon. Also, Kirsten's over on the X machine. Yes, I'm simulcasting on X. So if you happen to have an X account and see the streaming over there, stream, please do retweet it. Also, as I was reminded last stream, I should do more often. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And Colleen Bernier, she's a wee workhorse. Well, I'm assuming she's not like China big, but I don't know. I've never seen Piper Niven before. But if anybody really wants to educate me on Piper Niven, by all means, you can tag me on some tweets with pictures, because I have been known to look at women in pictures before. So Piper's been there since 2020. And how is she a DEI hire? Well, it all depends on what the motivations were to hire her. But like I say, ultimately, either she can do what she needs to do as a WWE member, or she can't. It's not really a guess at that point, because you're kind of on camera all the time. And Ames says, to be fair, people in WWE that are useless get found out quickly because they can be a danger to themselves and other wrestlers. Exactly. If you don't know what you're doing, you could get somebody hurt or yourself hurt. Because this is a situation where every time you do a routine with somebody, you're putting your safety in their hands as much as they're putting their safety in yours. If you make a move wrong, if you don't know what you're doing, you could kill somebody or yourself. It's not fooling around. Like I say, the narrative outcomes, characters and so on may be pre-rendered, but the action is not. It's live. Divine Petulance. She is not we. Okay, well, again, I'll take your word for it unless or until I see some evidence otherwise. SWD40, is Junkyard Dog a DEI hire? I don't believe he was from a junkyard or a dog. Junkyard Dog was decidedly not a DEI hire. I can assure you of that. You ever watch his older matches and stuff? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Those guys were doing the real stuff, especially in the old days when, like, safety regulations weren't nearly as overdone as they are now. Man, talking like old WWF before the World Wildlife Federation took back their logo. Anyway, so there's our WWE story. Moving on, let's talk about the other motivation for DEI. It's not just about, saving the lives of marginalized communities. No, hundreds of millions in tax money goes to contracts for DEI groups. Watchdog finds, quote, total racket. Oh, you're telling me. A Defending Education spokesperson described the school's consultants partnership as, quote, a total racket that makes schools worse. Wait a second. I was just told that medical schools need this stuff. And I can't read this article because I have to, subscribe? Join Fox News to access this. What? Fox News? Don't you want me to know things? Don't you want me to know that DEI is a scam? I mean, if I don't read your article, I can't know that DEI is a scam. Why for you do this, Fox News? Hold on a moment. Let me work a little magic behind the scenes here. I think I can do this. Let's try this. No, stuff. I don't want your ad playing in my ear. Hold on. Did I miss out on it? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. I did. Sorry, 1 second here. Live TV, everybody. Live TV. I'm trying to fix a problem that Fox has imposed upon me. Let's try this. Aha! There we go. All right, let's quit that screen. Let's move over to this screen. Where are you? That one there? Yes. Okay, let's try this a second time. Hundreds of millions in tax money goes to contracts for DEI groups. Watchdog finds total racket. Over the last several years, a few dozen diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant groups have racked up over $100 million in taxpayer-funded contracts from K through 12 schools across the country, a new report by Defending Education found. The report, shared with Fox News Digital, details how 41 DEI consultant groups garnered millions in taxpayer-funded contracts from 303 school districts and public education entities from 2021 until now. Okay, in total, the groups collected over $123 million from public schools in 40 states. The report found public school DEI contracts in both red and blue states, from Florida and Alabama to California and Washington. Erica Sanzi, a spokesperson for Defending Education, described the school's consultants partnership as a total racket that makes schools worse and often takes no consideration of age appropriateness in curricula. Well, not only that, because I'd be very curious to know, since all of these public schools are, public schools, and they are the recipients of federal financial assistance, and they spent taxpayer money on programs and activities that, I'd betcha, dollars to donuts, promote discrimination. Should those schools then lose their federal money? I think so. According to the report, the biggest winner in the scheme was Amplify, a firm that provides professional development and curricula to school districts, which scored a total of over $70.5 million. In response, a representative for Amplify told Fox News Digital that the group, quote, publishes textbooks and other instructional materials that help students learn reading, math, and science. and that, quote, there is no place anywhere in Amplify's products or in the training programs about how to use them for ideologies or political agendas, unquote. Great. I'd like to see Amplify's material. I'm going to have to look up Amplify now. The representative said, quote, our programs help students learn how to think, not what to think. Boy, oh boy. I'm going to have to do a little bit of a dive on Amplify. Probably having to use the Wayback Machine because I have a sneaking suspicion that their websites and materials have changed recently. The report highlights another consultant group, Adjusted Equity Solutions. Well, the word in the middle there says something, which it says is associated with the Culturally Responsive School Leadership Institute. CRSLI, okay. That claims to help schools challenge, quote, whiteness and hegemonic epistemologies in school, use, quote, equity audits to measure student inclusiveness, policy, and practice, and serve as, quote, advocate and social activist for community-based causes in both the school and neighborhood community, unquote. Sounds about right. This group took in over $1 million from public schools during the study period. Quote, tinkering in the minds of other people's children is big business, and countless K-12 schools across the country are active participants, Sanzi said. Quote, they pay big bucks to enter into contracts with ideologies and activists, ideologues and activists who, in turn, gain access directly or indirectly to a captive audience of young minds, unquote. Speaking with Fox News Digital via Zoom, Sanzi said that, quote, rather than this being a focus on sort of academic interventions, it's a lot of jargon that so far has not proven itself to be measurable. And there's really not much evidence, if any, that any of this is helping students or helping schools or helping staff, unquote. It's not helping any of them. It's lining the pockets of a bunch of grifters. That's all it's really doing. Sanzi said that though these DEI groups couch their activities in agreeable terms like belonging and empathy, they often end up being a wolf in sheep's clothing, unquote. Really? Tell me how. Quote, at first, you're thinking a lesson on empathy like, that's good, she said. Quote, who wouldn't want their child to be empathetic? We want that. Until you realize that the lesson on empathy is going to be about something like a little girl in her bathroom at school, a staff member who's trans, so biologically male, but identifies as female, comes into the restroom with her. She naturally feels uncomfortable because that's a very natural feeling in a circumstance like that. But she's told that she needs to have empathy for this grown-up who identifies as female, right? And that her discomfort is the problem. That feeling discomfort in that situation is wrong, or makes her unempathetic, unquote. Yeah, I think this sounds familiar. Sounds like something I've encountered many times before. Empathy just means don't disagree with me. Empathy means I'm right and you're wrong. Your discomfort, that's you not being empathetic. It's so insidious, and especially around children, for crying out loud. The Trump Department of Education has warned state education departments in all 50 states that they must remove diversity, equity, and inclusion policies or risk losing federal funding. Despite this, Sanzi said many of these consultant groups have adjusted by scrubbing references to DEI on their websites and using other words to describe the same thing. Yes, well, again, as I've said countless times, and I will continue to say until I see evidence to the contrary, get away from trying to audit places for DEI. Audit places for compliance with Title VI and Title VII. That's it. They can change the words all day. And if you're just saying, well, do you have any DEI programs? No, we don't have any of those anymore. We only have, we like to pet puppies programs. Those aren't DEI. Yeah, no. Are your programs and activities in compliance with federal civil rights law or not? Yes or no. That's it. That's it. Doesn't matter what you call them. Are you promoting discriminatory practices in your hiring or in your activities, in your school activity, whatever? Yes or no. If the answer is yes, there goes your federal funding. It should be that quick. But of course, every district court judge on the planet, or a select 15 of them or something, has to keep standing in the way of just complying with long-standing federal civil rights law. We see this in Harvard University and other places as well. So I hope that if Harvard University is the litmus test to get past all this judicial activism nonsense, then maybe after that, after we get all of these other things down, then whoever's remaining doing this stuff. But really, state legislatures, you need to get away from making laws or new statutes or whatever centered around the words diversity, equity, inclusion. It's counterproductive. Really is. Quote, "We see a lot of renaming," she said, "so they might say, well, we're getting rid of our DEI office or we're getting rid of our equity officer, but the proof will be in the pudding because what we notice often is that you'll see a switch, like suddenly we hear the word belonging a lot more." Well, I hate to say this to you, but I've been hearing belonging for at least the last 5 years. Belonging is not a new word in this. But anyway, and so the question becomes, are you getting rid of it or are you just rebranding it and shifting it somewhere else and taking it off your website? DEI consultant groups make big bucks from public school contracts. Boy, do I know it. I missed my calling in those early years. Okay. I think a word or something got cut off here. Setting that is required to maintain viewpoint diversity. These really have no place, not only because of the cost, not only because it's public money, not only because they're not very transparent about what they're doing, but also because they are really trying to push an ideological agenda on other people's children. Yes. Well, this has been true for a long, long time now, at least as long as I've been doing this channel. Everything old is new again. I'm glad people are becoming aware. But yeah, no, if you're a public school and you've been pushing this stuff, I think you should have to pay back the money you spent on the DEI programs. I can't, on one hand, I can't blame the grifters. They found an audience willing to pay them big bucks for their nonsense. Let the buyer beware. And the schools were dumb enough to fall for it. They should be punished for it, though. They should have their federal funding cut. And have a period of time where they have to very specifically show that they have purged themselves of all this nonsense before they can be eligible again. Because, again, the civil rights laws, they've been there for a while now. Advocates Diablo Scribe, like, realistically, how many high schoolers do you think even understand what hegemonic epistemologies even are? I'm not even sure I know what they mean. But all it takes is like 2 or 3 of them to go nuts with this stuff. And you set the tempo. You lower the bar, you confuse the kids, you waste their time with this stuff versus something that's actually useful, and you're just dumbing people down over time. Even if it doesn't have any direct effect on them, it's wasted time, and it's nonsense being pushed on them. And it's death by 1,000 cuts because it wasn't just in the public schools. They move on to the community colleges and the universities, and it's the same stuff there too. So you got a whole generation and a half or more that have had to go through this stuff in one shape or form, and it's all damaging. And it also shows you can make money promoting the worst kinds of thinking and calling it good. I don't know. Devil Fruit Zero, Mickey Mouse Scribe. I swear it sounds like the current voice of Mickey Mouse. If you say so. I kind of do it unconsciously. AMS, make DEI illegal, full stop. Having grown bloke on the loo with the children is nonce behavior and should be locked up and have no empathy lessons. Well, they're trying to make DEI illegal, but like I say, that's counterproductive. You don't need to make DEI illegal. DEI is not inherently law-breaking just as a term. Some of the things that are used under its umbrella certainly are. But yeah, just outlawing DEI is not the way to go. Auditing schools and organizations for compliance with existing federal civil rights law. That's it. Because like I say, they can change their names. They can call it ERGs one day or BRGs the next, or workforce support groups the next. It doesn't really matter. Are you guys? What do you do in these groups? Oh well, we divvy our workforce up on the basis of race. Oh okay. Well, maybe you shouldn't do that anymore because of Title VII. Oh, okay. Well, now we're going to call them labor assistance associations. Oh, what do they do? Oh, they divvy up our workforce on the basis of race. Okay, no. Yeah, so you get away from the specific definitions or terms and just get to compliance. That's my thought. Let's see. What shall we do next? Yeah, we'll do the Minnesota Pride story, and then we'll leave the show with a big cheerleader for DEI. DEI rollbacks prompt people-powered Pride Month in the Twin Cities. Oh boy, Pride Month kicked off with a literal running start on Sunday, a 5K run/walk. Well, which one is it? From Uteples Brewing in Minneapolis. Uteples. Twin Cities in Motion ambassadors put on the event that donates a portion of profits to Twin Cities Pride year-round programming. Oh, good, programming. What we need to do is program people. Amy Lippert-Hoffman from Blaine is one of the 100 or so who took part. It's a show of support for her LGBTQ friends, she said. Quote, I am out here, support them. I am out here, support them. That is how it is written. I am reading it as it is written. I am out here, support them. Just letting them know they are loved and they are important to celebrate, said Lippert-Hoffman. The recent political climate under President Trump's administration, cracking down on things like transgender rights. What is a transgender right? Honestly, what is a transgender right compared to any other right? I'm assuming all that they're effectively referring to is keeping boys out of girls' sports. Or is there something else? Cracking down on things like transgender rights has left a dark cloud of fear for many in the community, Lippert-Hoffman said. Quote, I wake up every day and I'm just so worried about my friends and I see how much they are worried, she said. Quote, they're scared and that makes me scared too. Unquote. Okay, Trump's executive order banning diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the country saw a concurrent rollback of DEI initiatives from Target. I don't know if you know this, DEI is not inherently connected to transgender rights. I don't know if you know that. I'd love to see you make that connection. Twin Cities Pride struck back, parting ways with the longtime sponsor. Okay, so you're at a financial deficit now. Even though they were still sponsoring you despite the DEI rollback. Okay. To fill the gap, Twin Cities Pride raised double the $50,000 that Target would have provided, all accomplished within a week. Well, heck, good. You don't need any kind of corporate sponsorship. Great. Quote, we really increased our individual donations at the start of the year, and I feel like people have been very motivated to really change not only their shopping patterns, but their giving patterns, which has been really amazing to see, said Kelsey Alto, Director of Programming for Twin Cities Pride. New community partners and local small businesses have come forward following the loss of sponsors, Alto said. The loss of sponsors? You mean the people at Pride ending their relationship with sponsors that were already there? Okay. Quote, all of the co-ops in the Twin Cities banded together to raise money for us, said Alto. A new people-powered Pride that Alto said stands strong in the face of adversity. Well, there you go, I guess. Quote, I think now more than ever that not only our community, but our small businesses in the Twin Cities are standing up and showing up for the Pride community and for Pride Month, said Alto. I guess they have. So, ta-da! You'll sure show that Trump. You'll sure show that Target, who is still willing to sponsor you, but you don't like DEI being rolled back for some reason. But okay. So there you go. I thought there was more to that story somehow, but apparently not. It's like, we didn't have enough money, so we got the money. The end. Yay. Advocast Diablo. It seems like they should be happy they got more money. Yeah, imagine if they'd been doing that the entire time. They could have dropped Target years ago. Or, heck, had Target on board and, collected more donations from people around the place. They could have had triple their money. Oh, well. Ames S. Maybe they should take a trip to the Middle East. I'm sure they are very accommodating over there. Well, not so much. TC, I wake up every day too. I know, it's the great equalizer unless you're in a coma. I suppose. Oh, I forgot to mention, because it completely skipped my mind. Yeah, so apparently, and I know this doesn't make me like really special or anything, but I got a little notice from YouTube I saw on my control panel today that I am one of the test audiences for the little crowns and participation XP thing on the chat that you see. They're rolling this out in test beds, and apparently I fell into one of the exclusive test beds. I also found out what it does for you. Bragging rights. And to encourage interaction and participation in the chat. I also found out something that I didn't think was true, but is true, is that you gain XP for super chats. So you can pay to win if that is something that is important to you. I didn't think that they would do that, but they have. But then this is YouTube. It's a giant corporation. So on some if you see this thing on other channels and you really, really, really want to get to the top of the leaderboard, apparently there is XP granted. I don't know how much. I don't think it's like $1 per XP or something. But then I don't know. At this point, I couldn't say. I was under the impression it was simply for chat activity that got you XP. I didn't think they'd also have a pay-to-play component as well, but there you go. But yeah, otherwise, as far as I know, the crowns and the places on the leaderboard don't do anything else other than per stream, you get to claim you're the top participant. So yeah, there you go. And if it matters, right now, on the leaderboard, number 1, we have Keeverdam with 200 XP. We have number 2 at Colleen Bernier at 175 XP. And at number 3, Mr. Yes, pardon me, Mr. Yes at 150 XP. Sorry, I got distracted by something there for a second. Let's see. Better be an exclusive Dogcat Fox skin. Described by... Yeah, I don't think I can get into that unless or until I start memberships, and then I can have like custom emojis, like little happy dogcat foxes running around or something, or little moons, little full moons, moon bases and things. But I haven't started that either. So anyway, somebody else who really needs a participation badge is Forbes magazine. I thought I'd end up with Forbes. Hadn't looked at a Forbes article in a while. Forbes being the biggest DEI cheerleader out there in corporate media, as far as I can tell anyway. But Forbes wants us to know that DEI won't die, why true diversity is a superpower in innovation. Yes, everyone, all that other kind of diversity, they all did it wrong. True diversity, like real communism, hasn't been done yet. In the world of innovation, I feel like a movie trailer announcer. In the world of innovation, creativity, and problem solving, there is one undeniable truth. You guys ready for this? A diverse team is an unstoppable team. Oh my gosh. That's why so many companies have been divesting themselves of DEI executives and programs and such, because they're so unstoppable that simply pulling the plug on the purse strings makes everything not stop. Boston Consulting Group. I believe I've done something on Boston Consulting Group before. Boston Consulting Group research. Are they like a mini McKinsey? I think they're a mini McKinsey. Shows that companies with above average diversity generate 45% of their total revenue from innovation, compared to just 26% for companies with below average diversity. Total revenue from innovation. How do you measure innovation? Okay, well then, Forbes magazine, I look forward to you giving us a active example. Show me the company that has an active DEI program or process or initiative or whatever. Show me what their fortunes were before they started doing DEI. Show me where their fortunes are now after a long period of DEI. And show me that one directly correlates to the other. Sorry, not directly. Well, both correlates and is causal. That's what I was looking for. Not just correlation, but causation. Now, I haven't read this article yet. Do you think Forbes is going to give us a poster child company for this claim? I personally hope so. Well, let's find out. The real power of diversity, equity, and inclusion isn't about meeting quotas or checking boxes.
What? What is that? What the fuck is that?
Don't kid a kidder. Come on. It isn't about meeting quotas or checking boxes. It's about unlocking perspectives and insights that a monoculture could never access. When teams include people from different backgrounds, cultures, and lived experiences, they challenge assumptions, identify blind spots, and create products and solutions that serve a broader audience better. DEI isn't just about I can't maintain that super serious voice too long. I just can't. DEI isn't just a corporate initiative. It's a superpower that fuels new ideas, drives business growth, and ensures that innovation is genuinely inclusive. Boy, oh boy. That's all corporate pablum. Are we going to... I liked it better when you were giving me completely abstract statistics from a questionable research group. But okay, moving on. What's the next paragraph of brilliance going to have? Too often, the conversation around DEI gets reduced to political talking points. But for those who lead teams and collaborate daily with individuals from different backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints, I know the truth. Diversity fuels better ideas. It ensures that the products, strategies, and innovations we develop are practical, but also meaningful and inclusive. The world is diverse, and so should the mind shaping it. Be. So either so should the mind shaping it be, or so should be the mind shaping it. Anyway, as the Vice President of Innovation at Fusion PKG, I lead designers, engineers, project managers, and creatives, collaborating with a diverse team and our customers. My team spans different states, countries, and backgrounds. Some speak multiple languages, and others come from small towns or big cities. We represent varied genders. All two of them, cultures and perspectives, fueling fresh ideas, challenging assumptions, and driving better solutions. Will I offer any active examples of what I'm talking about? I don't know, but it all sounds really good. What I've learned is that diversity isn't about checking boxes. I think I already said that a couple paragraphs ago, but a good line is worth repeating. It's about sharpening our vision and ensuring we create for everyone, not just a select few. When we embrace different voices, we don't just make better work, we create work that matters. I've gone this entire article so far and said absolutely nothing of substance. You almost might say what I've said is, not substantive. Oh, I see we have a raid in the chat right now from Latino Slant. Hey, Slanters, how's it going? Keely Chow is here. I'm doing my silly voice because this is my silly voice. I feel like if I start doing a little bit of an Australian accent or something, I'll go into like a Jason Statham or something. It's like, I can't believe what's going on here. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Research at SAP. Okay, well, I stuck a spigot in a tree and I got some research out of it. Research at SAP has shown inclusive companies are more likely to be innovative and to have higher cash flow per employee. A packaging engineer from one cultural background might recognize how specific shapes or dispensing methods work better for a broader audience. Specific shapes? Okay, a designer with a different lived experience might call attention to accessibility issues that would be overlooked. Yeah, they might. A packaging engineer from one culture background might. They may. They could. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah. There's a multiverse theory. These are not minor details. They are the key to making better, more inclusive products that reach and serve more people. All right. Well, who are you again? You're the Vice President of Innovation at Fusion PKG. Okay, well, give me an example. Give me an example of a situation at your company where designer 1 made a thing, and then designer 2 came in and said, hey, wait a second, my lived experience and cultural background tells me that that thing should really look like this thing, and that'll be better for everybody. And then you said, wow, that's a great idea. Look at all of the fringe benefits of a diverse workforce. You're going to tell us now about an example within your own company where that worked. Yes. Diversity isn't a corporate initiative. It most decidedly is a corporate initiative. It's the key to team excellence. It's more than assembling different backgrounds or checking boxes or filling quotas, even though those things in and of themselves are tempting fate with legality. But anyway, it's about embracing unique perspectives that fuel innovation. You keep telling us this. I haven't been shown any evidence. A diverse team expands possibilities, challenges assumptions, and creates solutions others might miss. When different stories, skills, and viewpoints come together, they form Captain Planet. Go Planet! Sorry. When different stories, skills, and viewpoints come together, they form Constructicons. No, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll form the head. Oh, man, I just ran through Saturday morning cartoons there for some reason. Skill points and viewpoints come together. They don't just add value. They unlock insight, ingenuity, and impact no single perspective could achieve. Equity ensures every voice is valued, not just heard. It's not about special treatment, but removing barriers to make opportunities accessible. Talent exists everywhere. Equity makes sure it's not overlooked. Teams prioritizing equity aren't just fair, they're stronger, empowering individuals to contribute boldly and innovate fearlessly. When people know they belong, they focus on their best work, not proving that they deserve a seat at the table. Inclusion is where the real magic happens. Diversity alone isn't enough if people don't feel safe sharing ideas or being authentic. Belonging fuels collaboration, trust, and bold thinking. Companies with inclusive cultures are 6 times more innovative and 8 times more likely to see better business results. 6 times more innovative. 6 times is a hyperlink. Please tell me you're taking me to a McKinsey study. No, a Hero X article. Hero X? What? Or is this hero folks? Like heroes instead of heroes? Oh my God. I think it took me to an article that is just as nonsensically verbose as this article. Okay, we're almost done, I think. True inclusion celebrates differences as strengths, amplifies historically silenced voices, and ensures no one must conform to succeed. Yeah, come to work not wearing pants. I'll succeed. I don't have to conform. In fact, I'm wearing socks on my ears and put a Greek salad on my head. I don't have to conform to succeed in this company. Ha-ha! When people feel valued, they take risks, push creative boundaries, and perform at their highest potential. Some of the best ideas from the ability to look at a challenge from multiple perspectives. I think I read that wrong. Let's try that again. Some of the best ideas come from the ability to look at a challenge from multiple perspectives. If we stifle diversity, we stifle innovation. If we fail to prioritize equity, we limit the full potential of our teams. If we ignore inclusion, we create environments where brilliant minds remain unheard. These are not just abstract concepts. They directly impact how businesses grow, how industries evolve, and how we shape the future. To harness the power of DEI for innovation, managers can take the following actions. Oh boy, guys, are you excited? I know I am. Number 1, break the echo chamber. Okay, DEI sucks and you should get rid of it. Ah! Oh. Cross-functional teams with varied backgrounds create more breakthrough solutions. Okay. Create safe spaces for ideas. Speak-up cultures can be more likely to unlock innovation. Encourage bold, unconventional thinking. How do you know? Instead of building a machine that burrows through little tiny pipes, children have really small hands. What if we put a rag in a kid's hand instead of building a machine to clean it out? We could save on electricity. Yeah. I mean, it's unconventional. Use employee resource groups as innovation labs. Hey, if you guys want to know more about ERGs, see the Sunday stream I did yesterday. ERGs can fuel product development and strategy. I guess they could. I mean, you have very, very niche focus groups already built in. Track DEI metrics that matter. Okay, well, as far as I understand it, the only metrics that matter are your demographic split in your workforce and leadership teams. Because time and time again, that's the only evidence and measuring stick by which DEI actually shows progress or complains that not enough progress has been gained. But okay, from what I've seen in the industry, this is the author talking, companies that measure DEI impact are more innovative than those that don't. Well, I'll tell you what, those that don't are probably less likely to be audited by federal authorities. Because if they did, they'd actually be showing that they count on quotas and box checking. But anyway, design with missing perspectives. I believe teams with at least one member who mirrors the customer are more effective at solving their needs. Oh, okay, so I need to have people on my team who look like our customer base. Nothing questionable about that thought at all. And lastly, encourage cognitive stretching. If only Biden had done that every morning when he got up. To drive mental agility, rotate teams, bring in outside thinkers, and host innovation hackathons. Regardless of shifting policies or political debates, one thing is sure, DEI won't die. I will continue championing diverse teams, knowing they are the lifeblood of innovation, progress, and excellence. We don't just work together, we build, create, and solve together. When every perspective is valued, equity is given, and inclusion is a priority, we don't just succeed, we redefine what success looks like. And that is the kind of future worth fighting for. And that was by Alexander Quapis, Vice President responsible for innovation, design, and engineering at Fusion PKG, an Aptar beauty company. Aptar? I almost said Reptar. Boy, howdy, that was a lot of stuff, wasn't it? You guys feel informed now? I mean, to be fair, that article is really a good teaching method for learning how to speak DEI. DEI is its own language. So you notice how he said a lot of things and repeated concepts in different ways several times without actually telling us anything. It's the kind of paper you write in high school just to get by. Make the teacher feel like you said something smart without actually saying anything smart. Another word for it is sophistry. It all sounds impressive. And yet, throughout the thing, what did he not do? He didn't give us a single active example. He gave us hypotheticals. He gave us scenarios. He gave us maybes and mights and could be's, but nothing that we could, dig our teeth into, literally or figuratively. As someone who has been in charge of design and this, that, and the other for a company, you would think he could give us a product example. Like, at my company, we had this thing, and this team said this about this and this and this about this thing, but then we had this person come in from a different team, and they had a different perspective, and they came from this culture, and they said, well, you really want to add this because that will make it more appealing to a larger audience. And lo and behold, we wouldn't have thought of that because none of us came from this particular background or that or the other. You'd think there'd be lots and lots and lots of these examples because obviously he's championing diverse teams. Diverse teams is the air that he breathes. He must have examples just, coming out of his pockets. Not a single one apparently available to us in that article. He had plenty of time to repeat the same thing 4 times, but not give us one of his, best case scenarios. So anyway, there you go, guys. It's an education. Every day is an education when it comes to DEI. You learn all sorts of facts and figures and how not to say things that are meaningful. Ames S, made-up company. I don't know. I could believe it's a real company. There are lots of companies that say things like that. I've been through the paces of reading corporate propaganda before, so it could be completely AI generated too. In fact, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the first draft had been. Mr. Yes, they say the customer is always right, but to me, the customer is going to be wrong. All depends on the circumstance. All depends on the circumstance. If I order something and I say I can't have any cilantro on it, and they bring me some food with cilantro on it, I'm like, I think I know what I ordered. So, all depends. Some Nemnial Nation, if they value diversity of thought, they'd hire more mentally ill folks. There's that. You can't get much more of a diverse mental perspective on things than by hiring a Malkavian. And if you get that joke, you're a complete nerd. Anything else up here I want to see? Oh, JPS. The ability to speak doesn't make you intelligent. It's true. It's true. I learn that every day. And especially when I'm on streams and shows and things with people who know way more about a subject than I do, and I feel completely inadequate. Like, I'm just going to be over here waiting for a moment to make a funny joke or something, if I can, because I don't know how these things work. That's usually me on box office day at Midnight's Edge. It's like, okay, between Culture Casino and Tom Connors, these guys know the ins, outs, and sidewise of movie making and financing and how to estimate what a movie needs to make versus its budget or versus how much it cost and how much it paid for and marketing. And I'm just going there going like, I was told there would be no math, but I keep showing up on Monday because it's fun. Let's see. Anything else, guys, before I wrap things up here? Yeah, kind of a short show today. But, that's the latest and greatest. We had Ohio State, we had WWE, we had, did you know that educational consulting groups are a grift? And Forbes magazine is still the greatest cheerleader of diversity. Let's see, any other programming notes? Well, if you missed it yesterday on the Sunday stream, a Sunday stream to make up for the fact that I wasn't here Saturday to do my Saturday show, I looked at all things ERG yesterday, did a little update for myself and for you on the current state of employee resource groups with some examples from various organizations and companies. So if you're curious about what ERGs are or what they might be in the future, take a look at that. I'm going to have to do some research on this Amplify group. Maybe I'll make that a special on Saturday or next DEI Deathwatch. We'll see. And you can find me here Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of TED Excellence, where I'll go over another off-brand TED Talk for education and enlightenment. It's my specialty. Kind of a depressing statement, but it's true. But also, as some Nation asks, do I have a Discord? Why, by golly, I do have a Discord server. Would you like to join the Discord server? Well, if you want to, you can click on that link I just put in the chat, and you'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word tells me you're not a bot. Actually watch the stream, and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is Amplify. Sure, just say hello, Amplify, and I'll know that you watch the show. Let's see. I think that's everything. Except for hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And share my stuff if there's people you think might be interested in it, because that's always helpful too. And at the last, on the leaderboard, at number 1, we have senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. At number 2, we have Keeverdam. At number 3 is Mr. Yes. And then tied for 4th place is some Nemnial Nation and Mike Savage. And then all down the list elsewise. And it all means whatever you want it to mean. But with that, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated either to myself or, again, guys, at the top of the chat box, the fundraisers for Twisted Skipsters Wrestling Club and Angela Arriaga's home-based business. Please take a look at those and donate if you can. Everyone, have a good rest of your Monday. Hope the rest of the week treats you well. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.